I'm Kat and I play red. Today we're doing something a little different. This parcel was sent to me at the start of July. It arrived yesterday with 56 hours left on the campaign. So today we're looking at Lizard Wizard by Forbidden Games. Obviously we love Forbidden Games. Look at all the red. They make great games. Normally, before I talk about a video, I like to have a fair few plays under my belt. Obviously, with the circumstances, we're not talking optimum here. So, we had a couple of plays of this last night, and we're just going to go through it quickly today. In Lizard Wizard, players take on the role of archmages, recruiting wizards, building towers and casting spells to be the most powerful in the land of Astoria, which is where Raccoon Tycoon is set. So there are some similarities between the game. So in Lizard Wizard you have a choice of 6 actions you can take each turn. You'll take one action and pass, which means the turns pass really quickly once you know what you're doing. So let's have a look at the 6 actions. The first action you can take is to gather reagents. You'll start the game with 3 of these cards. You play a card and you'll pick 3 of the reagents from the top part to take and put in your reserve. However, in the meantime, the value of the reagents shown at the bottom will go up on the track here. So, in this case, the mandrake would go up, the foxglove would go up, toadstools would go up, and eye of newt would go up. And I would get to choose 3 of these to take and pop into my pool. So, that's action 1. Action 2 is to convert your ingredients into mana, which you can then use for various things throughout the game. So, let's go back to this eye of newt here. Eye of newt is selling for 2 mana each. So, I can cash in 4 eye of newt to take 8 mana into my pool. Bear in mind this is a prototype. So while we're showing you these little cubes here, the actual game has some rather lovely components shaped like the specific reagents. So, another thing we can do is to recruit one of the wizards on the board. Now, obviously, I'm going to go for this rather lovely red dude here. So, I'm going to start an auction for him, and I'm going to bid the 8 mana that I just gained for selling my eye of newt. Bidding goes round the table until everyone except for the highest bidder is out. Then I take that wizard, I put him into play in front of me, and he's mine now until the end of the game. If I started an auction and someone else beat me and won, I'd actually get to start a second auction. So if I hadn't won my nice red guy, I could then decide to start bidding for one of the other 2 wizards that are now available. I could also build a tower. During the game, there's 1 tower available on the board. The cost is shown at the bottom, and these will get increasingly more expensive as the game goes on. So here, at the start of the game, they'll cost 1 resource or 1 gold coin. The other cards on the board are familiars. Now, I say on the board, the finished game will actually have space for 2 familiars. This prototype only has 1, hence 1 on the board and 1 off the board. Familiars are bought with mana, as shown at the top here, and have a choice of 4 actions. I know, it says 3. A 4th's been added since this was printed. So, the things I can do, let's start at the bottom to make things easier. I can take gold for every card in my possession that matches the symbols shown at the top here. There are 7 different schools of magic, and this is what helps you with endgame scoring. which we'll move on to. But for now, you take gold according to the number of these symbols in your play area. You can collect reagents and cast spells from your hand. You can enter the dungeon, which we really like. The fourth action, which isn't shown on the card here, is to clear the research spells available on the board and to take one of the new ones for free. If you notice, these also have a mana cost shown in the top corner. But for now, let's go back to the familiar and look at the dungeons. The dungeon has a push your luck element. So if I were to take, I quite like the spider, I'm going to take the spider, pay my 5 and choose to enter the dungeon. So let's go adventuring in the dungeon. So I turn the top card over. It's a treasure. That's good. Oh, more treasure, and it's gold. However, I've now been hit by an undead creature. So I can take one hit, I'm strong enough. However, if I take a second hit, I'll lose any treasure that I had and get kicked out of the dungeon. So with those, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to stick and take these treasure cards, which give me 1 gold and a dagger towards endgame scoring. So these come to me, and any creatures I discovered get shuffled back into the deck. Oh, it's a good job I didn't take the next card because it would have killed me. So the dungeon is part of the familiar action. You always restock a card when you take it from the board here. The other action you can do is to research and maybe cast spells. As I said previously, spells have cost to buy in the top corner here. Anything in this blue symbol represents mana, which is the main lifeblood of this game. So I can choose to take this for 5 mana. Now I can either take it and keep it for now, or if I have the reagents needed, I can take it, pay the cost here and place it in front of me. So as you can see, these symbols here represent an ongoing effect. Some are a one-time event and some happen immediately when you cast a spell. So keep an eye on these and when you want to play things. For example, at the start of the game, players begin with 20 mana. So if you can get this off early game, it's a really nice advantage. Going back to our wizards here, if you notice, they've all got a symbol on the top left corner. In fact, all of the cards do. The towers, the familiars, and the spells. These represent the 7 schools of magic. So we have enchantment, necromancy, druidry, conjuring, sorcery, and thaumaturgy. Each of the wizards has a school of magic associated with it and a specific reagent. If I were to have this wizard under my control, every time I took a nightshade, I could take an extra one because of this symbol here. The schools of magic are not only pretty and thematic, but that's where the scoring comes in at the end of the game. So, going back to our towers here, the towers also have this symbol. So, at the end of the game, for each tower and wizard you have with a matching symbol, you'll gain 10 points. If you're lucky enough to have cast any spells over the course of the game that also match with this pairing, they'll give you an additional 5 points as well. If, however, you have a tower and a wizard pairing that doesn't match, you still get 5 points for that. So if I were to have, quickly, let's look at this. This pairing, I'd get 10 points, and then this tower wizard combo would still get me 5 points, which isn't too bad. You remember the gold that I got from hunting through the dungeon? My measly 1 gold. Well, as well as buying towers in-game, the gold will also score you points at the end of the game. So you'll get 1 point for every gold you haven't used. Familiars will score you nothing, and spells will only score you if they match that all-important tower wizard pairing. Going back to the dungeon, this treasure card, this very nifty dagger I got when dungeon crawling, potentially will score me points at the end of the game too. The player with the most items in their stash at the end of the game will get 10 points, and second place will get 5 points. So other than the fun push your luck element the dungeon deck brings, remember to look out for items, as they will score you points. So, very quickly, that is Lizard Wizard. Obviously, normally I'd look at it in a lot more detail, but I wanted to get something up for you guys. There's around 24 hours left on the Kickstarter to check it out. This is a prototype, so bear in mind a lot's been tweaked. You're not going to have these little cubes. Some of the art is placeholders, but go and check it out. Say just around the 24-hour mark left. 24 stretch goals reached. 24, including a solo player mode, fancy wooden tokens for the reagent. I think there's some silver plating, not real silver, on the boxes. Loads of stuff to check out. Have a look. In a while we'll do a proper look at this when we've had a bit more time to play it and digest it with more players. Definitely have a look at the Kickstarter. Hope you like this quick and dirty look at the game. If you did, click like, subscribe, all that. Come and see me on the socials. I Play Red on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Thanks for watching. Bye.